is called Ayuda Media Systems. I'm the founder and chief executive officer of the company. We sell software to ad networks. So digital out-of-home ad networks use our software to manage their entire workflow, from the proposal generation process to contracting to invoicing, and we also, of course, do the digital content management system piece and the digital playback piece as well. So think full end-to-end workflow for a digital out-of-home ad network. This year is really transformational for us. We're launching a family of new products at this show. We hadn't told anyone that we were working on this. We've been developing this in silence. What we've essentially done is programmatically enabled our Ayuda platform. So the Ayuda platform is what the ad networks use to run their business, from, as I shared, proposal generation, digital signage. And what we've done is we've modified the platform to allow ad networks to sell programmatically while giving them total control over the process. So we've added essentially a family of products, the first being essentially what's called a supply-side platform. And a supply-side platform, that's parlance that's borrowed from the online advertising market. It's essentially an environment that allows the media seller to create ad units of impressions, targeted impressions, that they can then publish to a marketplace. And these are private marketplaces. So the idea here is that if you speak to a lot of these media companies that are here, they'll tell you that, we're struggling because our occupancy rate is only at about 50%. What can we do to improve that? And they are curious about programmatic selling, but they're scared. And the reason they're scared is they're scared of losing control over their inventory, and they're scared of driving down their CPMs. The idea is that, well, what I can do as a media owner is maybe I can dump some impressions onto an ad exchange, and then I'll get some new money that a demand-side platform or an agency would use to buy those impressions, and I might get some incremental revenue. It sounds great, and it does work, but it makes the media owners nervous. So we've been listening loud and clear at a lot of these sessions at the DSE for the last couple of years that the media sellers are really nervous about programmatic, and what they'd like is more control in the process. So what we've done is we've programmatically enabled our supply-side platform with the creation of marketplaces that could be owned and operated by the media sellers. There are 4 different marketplaces. There is the premium guaranteed inventory marketplace. That's kind of like eBay's buy it now. So the media seller can choose to, let's say, allocate some impressions of inventory onto a buy it now type marketplace and expose that online so that media buyers can buy directly from that. The second marketplace that we're showing today is what's called the performance-based marketplace. The idea there is that you as a media seller can set up an online marketplace where you can sell impressions based on how many people are looking at your creative. And that's where we partner with companies like Quivity, and we have a lot of that cool stuff. It's kind of the equivalent of pay-per-look, but translated over to the digital out-of-home industry. The third marketplace is called the Deals Marketplace. This lets media owners set up deals online. The Gap can set up deals like buy 3 khakis and get the 4th one free. Similarly, we allow our clients, the media sellers, to set up deals marketplaces that mimic that, in the sense that you can say, I'm willing to sell you, if you pay twice my CPMs, I'll give you 3 times as many impressions. So those numbers are tweakable. And the last one is probably the most controversial one, is the ad exchange or the real-time bidding marketplace, that essentially you can set up an online auction. So the idea is if you are the media company and you're worried your occupancy rate's only about 50%, maybe I should consider putting some of my impressions on an auction that I control, the media company controls. And our software offers control such as floor pricing, hard floor pricing, soft floor pricing, different types of auctions, Dutch auctions, English auctions. There's a lot of auction theory math behind that, and that is inside the ad exchange. And this finally all culminates into a buying app, an iOS app that's available on iPhone or iPad. It's a media seller branded app. So if you buy this from us, Ayuda, what you get is a branded app in the App Store branded for your company, and that sells from those private marketplaces directly that you set up. The growth has been phenomenal in the last few years. I mean, we're experiencing almost triple-digit growth. I think from our perspective, and remember, we focus on ad networks, so we don't do like the menu boards and stuff like that. We really focus on the ad networks. So I can comment a lot about what's happening there and where the growth is coming from. When the economy is doing well, advertising is the first thing to, of course, rise, and when it's bad, it's the first thing to take a cut. We think the economy is very strong in the United States. We see a lot of growth coming back as well from Europe as well. And I think what's driving a lot of the growth, specifically on the ad side, is the rise of programmatic. If you look at the online advertising market, where they basically sell display ads or banner ads, or YouTube pre-roll video, or mobile, Facebook, Google, they're growing so fast, and almost a third of that inventory is being bought programmatically today. Globally, that business is a $180 billion a year business. That's the digital advertising business globally. In the United States, we're about $2 billion. And right now in the US, only a small, tiny fraction of that is being sold programmatically. If we become smarter about how we sell that inventory and we mimic the successes that the internet has, then we can partake in that kind of growth that the internet is enjoying. And that's what we're trying to do. And we think that's where most of the growth for ad networks is going to come from. The challenges that ad networks face, in my opinion, is really about growth. What they want to do is they want to grow beyond, let's say, being a 1,000 screen network to a 2,000 screen network. But they're nervous. They're nervous about what's that going to do to my overall inventory. Will I be able to sell that space? And the solution, again, comes back to embracing programmatic revenue streams and figuring out how you can be smarter about how you sell all of that growth rather than actually funneling it through only a direct sales force. So I think the challenge that they're facing on why they don't want to be part of a programmatic environment is because they're concerned that it's going to drive down their CPMs. So they're very nervous. They are interested in growing by listing their inventory in an open exchange, but they don't know what it's going to be sold at. So what's that going to do to my CPM? If my clients, if I'm a media company now, are buying from me with a 4-week rate card that's fixed all the time, and all of a sudden they find out if I'm listed on an open ad exchange, they can buy those same impressions for pennies on the dollar, well, maybe they'll wait and they won't buy from that premium inventory, and they'll wait and buy from the auction. That makes media owners very nervous. They feel it's going to cannibalize their direct sales channel. And so the solution, I think, for these companies to grow is to embrace programmatic, but to have a lot more control in these processes. And that's what we're really focusing on today with this new launch. We supply the media owners with a supply-side platform that gives them total controls over the parameters on how to sell programmatically. In terms of growth, what we've done at this show is truly transformational for us. It's one of the most important initiatives we've ever worked on. We're changing our business model by doing this. We're moving away from a traditional ERP, enterprise resource planning software plus CMS and digital player into a supply-side platform. We think that's going to be driving a lot of our growth in the future. We expect a lot of media owners to come to us and say, we were thinking about building a private exchange or a private marketplace. You guys now have something that's off the shelf and off the box. You've done all the math to figure out how the exchange works and how the auctioning works. And I think that's going to be a key growth driver for us. And that ultimately fuels sales for the rest of our core platform. We have front office tools for sales reps to generate proposals on iPads. And we also have on the CMS side what's called Splash, which is our digital signage content management system. And we also have a player. The fact that we offer all of these private marketplaces and exchanges, I think, demonstrates to our clients that we're thinking about the right things. We're placing bets on that kind of future, which I think makes the rest of our platform forward-friendly with where the industry is going and gives our clients confidence to make an investment in our platform. If you go to my booth right now, we have the largest media owners there. I just got a text message saying, we've got the largest media owners at our booth. Can you come by? You should come here. That audience is always there. So the show always delivers in the sense that the ad networks come. There's ad networks that came from Brazil, from Mexico, that want to learn about our products. And we do a lot of shows throughout the year. This show never ceases It always surprises me. You know, you always get the ad networks here. They visit our booth, and that's why we're here every year. The digital signage industry has arrived.